Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode on Rewired Radio. I'm your host, DJ Drew,
And I'm Coral, your favorite event planner.
and today's guest is a master on the mic that knows how to get the party hype. He can play a range of songs from any decade, and he'll even take requests from your bridesmaid. From the School of Hard Knocks with Vox, let's welcome DJ Partida.
Hey guys,
Hello,
thank you for having me.
of course.
My name is DJ Partida, and I work for Vox.
Right on, Arturo. It's a
Awesome.
pleasure to have you with us today, my man.
We're so excited because we normally have a lot of wedding planners on the show, but this is our first time having another DJ, and we have two awesome DJs in the same room. This is going to be a great
Not one, but
episode.
we got two.
It's going to be a really good episode.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. First off, we're going to start off with how important it is to have a wedding DJ for your wedding, how important the aspect of having a DJ is, which can make or break your wedding. We're going to talk about what to look for when you choose a wedding DJ. And I've got a fun game for us at the very end.
Usually I have the fun games.
Well, today I'm going to be the one playing the game.
I'm-
Actually, all of us are going to be playing.
All of
but
us. Okay.
I'll be hosting it this time.
I'm assuming this involves our drinks.
It definitely does.
Yes. Well, I'm ready. First things first, I just want to know a little bit more about you. What made you become a DJ, and what's your favorite part? I'm sure there's a lot.
There is. I grew up listening to music, and obviously the older I got, I kind of expanded my music selection. I landed the opportunity based on a friend of ours, and from there, it just basically like I started experiencing more weddings, more events, and it kind of came down from there.
Yeah. Do you have a number one favorite part when you're out at a wedding DJing?
Honestly, it has to be just the vibe. The vibe is
Yeah.
important.
Absolutely.
Totally. I feel like you agree with that.
Absolutely. The vibe is everything.
Yeah.
What kind of events do you favor? Do you usually like weddings, corporate? What kind of vibes, what kind of parties do you like to do?
I don't favor anything. It's just mainly like whoever, as long as people are getting the party, like the party, the
People having
vibe.
fun.
Yeah, as long as
Totally.
people are having fun, like that's
Goes back to the
basically.
vibe. Yep.
It's all about the vibe, man. So let me ask you, Arturo, what do you think is the most important role you play as a DJ, whether it's at a wedding or any event? What is the most crucial role you play as a DJ?
I think it's important to address that, like the music selection is obviously like important, but just vibing with your DJ, yeah, it's basically the vibe.
Yeah, I know, because choosing my own DJ, because I'm getting married in 2 months, which I've said on the
Congratulations.
show so many times, but thank you. It wasn't easy. There's a lot of aspects that go into it. The DJ, the MC, kind of the packages they offer and everything like that. So to our viewers that are watching that are brides to be right now that are in the process of hiring a DJ, what would you tell them when they're in the search for one?
Get to know them
Yeah.
first before maybe get a Zoom call, jump on a Zoom call. That's really important. You want to get the firsthand experience of who's gonna be handling your music.
Mhm. Yeah, see if you vibe with them, if you click with them, because sometimes
Exactly.
you don't, and that's fine. But I feel like you really should kind of get to know them on that like personal level and see if they would be a good part for your special day, because it is a big moment.
It's a huge moment.
It's a huge moment.
Yeah, you want to hire the right person for your wedding. The DJ, again, can make or break your wedding. So I think getting to know them a little bit extensively, does go a long way. And when it comes to the big day,
Totally.
ask the
Right.
right questions, make sure they're a good fit. Again, goes back to the vibe, you know? Um, and, as a DJ, I know that mixing is super important. You want to have those nice, clean transitions. But obviously, the MC, the master of ceremonies part is also just as important when you're hosting an event. What do you think it takes to become a great MC? And what do you think is the most important trait to becoming a master of ceremonies?
Charisma for sure. You need to have a
Mm.
stage presence. If you're not, you know, especially energy. Like if you're not engaging with your crowd, you're not going to, cultivate that. So you need to make sure that you have them. Basically.
Yeah. You kind of have to be a good public speaker too, right?
Yeah, I mean that comes with practice, but for sure, like I think, like even just, because you might not be good at, speaking in front of a crowd, but if you're just able to just kind of mingle with your, the crowd that you have in front
Yeah.
of you, you're gonna get them
Kind
basically.
of practice makes perfect in
Being
this.
friendly is a huge one.
Being
Yeah.
friendly.
Being friendly definitely helps. Being engaging, and starting off too, I'm sure it's difficult, especially if you're not a great public speaker or you're shy.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I've learned that really helps, especially early on starting out, is writing a script.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just knowing the timeline of events.
Yes.
And
And usually your wedding planner will have your timeline of events for
Right.
you, and you can kind of go off of that.
so,
Yeah.
just depending on what's going on for that event, you can create a short script of what you're going to say. That way, you're not stumbling on your words.
Yeah.
You're not forgetting what to say. I feel like having a script, especially early on, if you're just starting out, really, really goes a long way. And then as you become more comfortable and confident as an MC and as a DJ, you don't really need that script as much.
Totally. The more weddings you do, the more events you do. And when you kind of connect with the crowd, you get to know them, then you're like, oh, this is easy. This is fun for me now. Yeah.
Because I know that I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because I know in my experience, I was really shy to speak in front of people, and
Oh.
I didn't really want to I would stumble my words. So it came with practice. I was just being thrown in these events, and I would just
Mhm.
kind of say vibe with me, kind of
Yeah.
whatever I would have to say. And with time, it started kind of easing out. So now I feel a little bit more confident of
Totally.
speaking.
Well,
So
I was the same way too. Like I was so bad at public speaking, but in college they make you take it, and just I was like, "Oh, this is so bad. I am so scared." But now I'm a host on a podcast, which is really funny, but it's
love
fine now.
that.
But like let's say obviously when you're prepping the maid of honor, the best man, all of these important people to say something at the wedding, and let's say one of the bridesmaids is just so nervous, what do you tell her to kind of calm her nerves?
Start with breathing exercises. I know that that's really important just because, if you're not, sometimes people get wrapped up in their own head because they're just, the nerves are just there and they're overthinking it. But if you just kind of center yourself, you will allow that to just kind of ease the nervousness out. And it's going to help you for sure. It's going to help you.
Have you seen it help people that are about to
Several. Yeah,
Several.
several. I had to
take
tell
a
them to
deep breath?
yeah, close your eyes and then take a deep breath for sure.
Maybe a couple. Yeah.
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 I would say the only other thing I would add is rehearse, whether it's the night before,
That's true.
whenever it is, if you've got something written down, rehearse. That way you're not always looking down at your phone or
Mhm.
your script or whatever it is that you wrote. And it'll really make it a lot smoother, a lot more, make you a lot more confident and
Yeah.
relaxed if you rehearse it. And try to keep the microphone next to your mouth, folks, when you're talking. Don't keep it all the way down here.
Okay, Mr. MC.
Keep it up here where everybody can hear you. Just a little tip, that's all.
Yeah,
Just a
and
little tip.
honestly, if you are the maid of honor and public speaking is not your thing and you just know even you practice and you're not going to do good, make it like a 2-3 sentence thing. Make it short and sweet. Make it more like a toast. It doesn't have to be
A
this
long one.
whole long speech. I remember my friends got married a year and a half ago and we did speeches, and I wanted to do a funny joke, and I had my speech on a piece of paper, but I attached more papers to it. And I said, "Oh, I'll keep mine short and sweet." And I had opened up my script and the whole thing went down and everyone was like, "You're kidding me." And I was like, "I'm just kidding. This is just a joke." But I was like, I don't think people actually really thought that was funny because they thought I was really going to have a script that was this
Yeah.
long.
Like, oh, we're going to be here for a while.
But I didn't really want to speak that long. So I said 3 sentences, just was happy to be there. And we went with that.
So it was
Yeah.
kind of like your prop?
It was like a prop to kind of it's like an icebreaker.
Nice.
You know, it was
Okay, I
people were
like
like, oh,
that.
they're laughing. Like, what is she doing? They're engaged instead of me being like, I love you guys,
Yeah.
you know?
I've actually thought about that before.
Yeah,
It's like a funny thing.
it
but-
works.
Okay.
And then people kind of get mad because they're like, oh my gosh, is her speech going to be 30 minutes? So it depends on the crowd. You got to read the crowd. Yeah. Yeah.
Those are good tips, though. Breathe, rehearse, try not to make it too long, where everybody's dozing off. Just keep it short and sweet, and then raise a glass. I think you'll have a great toast after that.
Totally.
So here's a scenario. Let's say you're in the middle of your set, you're mixing, people are dancing, they're having fun, and someone comes up to you and he's like, hey, Arturo, can you play this song? And you oblige. You're like, sure, I'll play it for you. So you play the song bombs, fails. Everybody walks off the dance floor.
Man.
Our worst nightmare, right?
That hurts you.
Nightmare,
I have
yeah.
nightmares about it. And then after everybody leaves, you got just that one person who requested the song is the only one on the dance floor. So, what do you do in a scenario like this to get people back on the dance floor?
I would honestly say a group dance is the first one, but you do occasionally get people that don't want group dances. So I would probably just put some Michael Jackson on. Everybody likes
A
Michael.
classic that will get all the older folks on the dance floor for sure. Yeah.
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 Everybody likes Michael Jackson.
A song that everyone knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What about
definitely.
you?
For me personally, I guess it would just depend on the scenario. But I would say find something kind of like Michael Jackson or something that's popular that people recognize and start just bringing them back on two by two,
Yeah.
Like just play that one song and then you got two people on the dance floor. And then before you know it, you got another 4, 6, 20, and then people will start piling back up. And definitely don't take any more requests from that person, whoever they were. I would also say, because they just bombed it, but I would say it also just depends on the vibe of the party too, If, and the person who gave you the request too, you got to know if this is a song that's fitting for the event or if it's completely out of left field.
Agree.
And you got to just trust your gut.
Agree.
know.
That's
If
a
you're-
huge one.
Yeah. If you're playing straight hip hop and rap and the guy comes up and wants to play like a country song, which I'm not hating on country, but it's not the vibe right there,
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, probably not, Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would trust your vibe, trust the gut, and yeah, just work your way. Keep your head down. Keep mixing until you get people back on the dance floor. So let's take another scenario here. You're talking to a bride and groom, and they say they have a family friend or a relative, someone that they know that also DJs, but they haven't done many weddings, right?
Yeah.
But because they know them, they're gonna give them a nice little discount. People like discounts, but you get what you pay for at the end of the day,
Totally.
right? So, in a situation like that, what would you tell someone who might be considering hiring a DJ who's never done a wedding before? I mean, this is a big day, right?
Yeah, that's huge. Only because you don't really want to hire your friends. If anything, you want to party with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's just
Mhm.
not it's just a conflict of interest-ish. I would definitely just not do it.
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
That's a really good question. It's kind of hard too
Yeah.
because sometimes they're set and they're like, "Nope, I'm hiring my cousin to do this," and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, "Okay, well,
Good luck.
good luck." But like you said, you get what you pay for,
Right.
and it's hard because sometimes it's like you don't want to experience it when they're already there. They already are your wedding DJ, and you're like, "That was the worst decision ever." But sometimes you have to kind of go through that. So
Mhm.
it's like when you are a DJ, you really want to like tell them like, oh, maybe you shouldn't because they can't speak on the mic or they don't have lighting that's included with their packages. You would have to outsource your photo booth, do all this stuff. So,
Yeah, I would say interview them as if they were just another DJ.
oh
you know?
yeah,
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
Ask
good one.
them the
sit them
questions.
down.
Yeah, sit them down, have a
Yeah.
conversation with them over the phone, and just ask them questions. Hey, how many weddings have you done? What comes in your packages?
Mm,
Are you comfortable with emceeing? Because a lot of them might not be. They might come from a different environment. Maybe they DJ clubs or bars and they're not used to talking or hosting a wedding. Can they run through a timeline? Things like that. So you got to ask them
Totally.
questions as if you were just interviewing any random person. If you get that discounted rate, great, go for it. But just make sure they're fitting. Don't just go for them because you know them or somebody just said, hey, I hired them for this, or you're related to them, or they're a great price. Like, make sure you know what you're getting at the end of the day.
Totally.
Yes, it's a big day.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of your budget goes into obviously the venue, catering, all that stuff. But when it comes to vendors, your wedding planner, you should definitely budget high as well as your DJ. Just like in my opinion, as a bride, at least what I've been budgeting, just because those are kind of like your main. They're there.
Go to.
Yeah, they're there to make your day well and go really well. So if you have a bad DJ or a bad wedding planner, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Not always, but most of the time.
For the most part, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have a DJ that doesn't really know how to interact with the crowd or doesn't really know how to be a good MC, then you're kind of like, oof, like what do we do now?
You have to be good at something for
You
sure.
gotta have a balance of
You gotta
both.
have a balance.
And I've had people tell me, event planners tell me that they've had DJs on, and when it came time to actually host the reception, they wouldn't get on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean they wouldn't get on the mic? They wouldn't talk. They were shy. They were gun shy. And I don't know how you hire somebody like that
I
without actually
know.
knowing that. So
Yeah.
I've heard that numerous times where I'm just like, you got to know what you're getting. Even when I talk to brides, I tell them, look, even if you don't hire me, make sure you ask these specific questions to somebody so you know exactly what you're getting. Ask them if they're an MC. Ask them if they're comfortable on the microphone. Just make sure
Yeah.
you know what their experience is with doing weddings. So
Totally. Yeah, and a lot of the
Agreed.
times, obviously, brides don't really know what they're doing because this is their first wedding and hopefully only wedding. But when it comes to once they've hired a wedding DJ and everything like that, and let's say you're in a meeting with them
Mhm.
and they come and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to create all of my Spotify playlists. I have all of these ideas. Do you recommend them putting together an entire playlist for you to play on that day? Or you just say, hey, give me some recommendations, some genres that you want to listen to, and then you take it from there?
I prefer not to get a list. I prefer them maybe getting in the Zoom call and then just kind of going over what you would like to play, maybe like a
Yeah.
genre, hip hop, pop. Maybe I don't want country. Okay, cool. We could take that out of the, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I don't want a whole list just because some songs don't mix well with others. So that's kind of our job as a
Hmm.
DJ to kind of like determine going from there. And then, yeah, what's your take on that?
for me personally, I do like when they give me a list of
Oh,
songs,
you do?
but not like
Not the entire
play all of
playlist.
this exactly like we wanted exactly like this, play these songs only. It's like,
Yeah,
give me a list so I can kind of figure out what kind of vibe you're going for, what kind of songs,
totally.
what kind of artists, genres that you like, and I can build around it. You don't have to give me 100 songs. Just give me like, 10, 15, 20 max.
Totally.
And let me kind of just build off of that. I can kind
Yeah.
of figure it out from there. But when I don't like somebody saying, I want 100 songs, play them exactly like this.
I've
Don't
made you
take
a
any
playlist
requests.
you must
Yeah.
play.
It's like, you want to just plug it into a speaker and just play it by yourself, man? Then
I'll just
why are you
stand
hiring
here
me?
like
Yeah.
this. Yeah, yeah.
I'll be the dancer at that point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely for like first dance songs. Like you obviously want them to tell you which one that they want. So I've seen as a wedding planner, people do the entire 4-minute song, or some people just do kind of like a little short snippet of it. What would you recommend?
Just depending on the song, we don't want to
Yes.
put like a 10-minute song, right? But there's people that are like a little bit shy to dance, so they want to do like
Yeah.
45 seconds and then fade in or fade out ish. So I would say if it's like a 2-minute, it's appropriate to kind of do like 2 to 3 minutes. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think again, it depends on the couple themselves.
Yeah.
Some of them
Totally.
want to dance the full length of the song. Some of them want to cut it short. Maybe they don't want everybody staring at them for the entire 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Hmm.
They're just like, hey, fade it out at a specific point. Otherwise, if I tend to ask them, do you want me to play the full length of the song? It's about this long, or do you want me to cut it a little bit short? And I just get the reaction. If they want to dance the whole time, who am I to say no to them? It's your wedding day.
True.
Yeah, and you
So-
guys probably get it a lot with like the parent dances. People maybe wanting it a little bit shorter. I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion.
For those ones, typically, yeah, they want to cut the parent dances a little bit
Yeah.
shorter.
Like, I mean, I love my dad and I get a really nice 30 seconds with him, but I just know we're going to be so emotional because it's a good time just for us to like bond and connect.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be like 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds max, and then
Yeah.
we're off the dance floor. And then my fiance's mom is going to be like the full 3.5 minutes. Love you.
Oh, by the way, kind of something here. I was just talking to a future bride about this, but I've noticed like if you want to cut a song short with giving a subtle signal to your DJ
Mm.
of how to cut it short. Maybe you didn't communicate that. Maybe you didn't say, "Hey, cut this song short." But let's say you're dancing with your dad, or John's dancing with his mom, and he
Mhm.
wants to cut the song short. Maybe a subtle signal, folks, is reach over, hug the parent, and I think the DJ should be able to read like, okay, they want to end it right here,
Oh,
right then.
they hug. It's
Yeah,
kind
kind
of
of
like an
hug, like
ending
close out
thing.
the song
That's a
right
good
now,
one.
right?
That's a
I
good
think it's a
one.
subtle signal, and I don't know. I read it. I'm paying attention. So if I see them hugging, and I tell them this too, if I
Mhm.
see you guys hugging, I'm just gonna fade out the song and close it out early.
I like that
I
Yeah.
like that too. I like that
because they
too.
don't want to feel stuck.
Right.
You don't want to be stuck for the 3 minutes, but you're like, okay, we've done our sway. We have the photos, we have the videos. Now we're kind of done.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
got the photos, you got the video, you're all good there.
totally. Totally.
So let's talk about one important thing and probably one of the hardest things as a DJ, reading a room, right? It's very difficult to read a room
Dude.
of 100 guests, 200 guests, you know, and you got to kind of figure it out along the way of what these people like, what kind of music they like. Obviously, beforehand, you kind of have a good idea of what the bride and groom like, right?
Yeah.
Have a pretty general idea of what kind of music they want, but not what the rest of their guests want. You're going there kind of blindsided. So when you're there, what's your technique for reading a room and just figuring out the vibe of what people like?
So I try to engage with the guests when I
Mhm.
get there. Just, try to talk to them, try to see where they're at, how they're feeling. Sometimes they're bobbing their heads and sometimes they're not. So you kind of go based on that. But that's basically it. Like I kind of just try to be friendly
Yeah.
and try to get to know them,
Be their friend.
get an instant
Connect with
connection.
them,
Yeah.
and then kind of see like, oh, hey, maybe they're kind of liking the music I'm playing right now. Like you said, bobbing their head. You're like, okay, taking notes. Like let's add some of that in here. And then when it comes to the dancing, you're like, okay, I read the room. Now let's play all these songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think paying attention right from when cocktail hour begins
Mm-hmm.
is a great way to start reading the room. Again, just see what songs people are bopping their head to during cocktail hour, during dinner, and just see what kind of vibe you're getting from the crowd. If they're enjoying some Michael Jackson, they're enjoying, a certain genre of music.
Line dances.
Yeah, whatever it may be. Maybe you don't play line dances during cocktail hour, but
Hey, you never know.
not everybody
You
likes
never
line
know. Oh my
dances. But take mental notes and just figure out, what people are enjoying. And along the way, you can play some of those songs too.
And you're always going to have those shy people no matter what. Like, even if you are super friendly to them in the beginning, there are always probably going to be a couple shy people. And like, what if another scenario, more here, but if you see a group of people that are maybe a little bit shy, but kind of want to get on the dance floor, is there anything that you do to kind of help them, kind of push them onto the floor?
Yeah, what if they're too shy?
Ask them their favorite song and then start from there. Maybe like
Oh.
see if I play their song, they will get up on the dance floor.
You would hope, right?
Yeah, I would hope. They could just enjoy it at least. But if
Yeah. I like that. Kind of like go up to them, be like, hey, you guys having fun? Like, what's your favorite song? Kind of like engage with them and see. I mean, if you play their favorite song and they still don't really want to dance, then they're just not dancers.
Yeah, they're not
And you're like,
dancers.
okay, on to the next.
Sometimes you get that crowd too. Do you like to interact with them before the dancing begins, like during dinner or cocktail hour? Do you like to introduce yourself and just see what kind of vibe you're getting from them?
Yeah, I definitely do that. Once I'm already done setting up, I try to, say hi, and then from there, like I'll ask them where they're from, how they know the bride or the groom,
Mhm.
and from there, like if they are basically not, there will be some times that they don't want to talk. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of like reading that off. I'm like, okay, then
Yep.
moving on to the next guest. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Right.
But majority of the time, you kind of make that connection with them, and then they just instantly kind of like you, and they just go from there.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So you like to interact with them prior.
Yeah, I'm friendly as it is, so it's just
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
it.
interactive DJs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want a friendly DJ, and obviously you want professional as well.
Of
But
course, yeah.
you want someone that's gonna be a little bit more engaging with the crowd rather than just like focused on his set the whole time.
Yeah.
Eye
Yeah.
contact, smiles, all of that's
Just
good.
have fun.
Have
It's
fun.
honestly the funnest job in the world.
It really is.
I
It really
couldn't think of a better
is.
job.
Yeah.
I've worked a number of jobs, and this is the best job in the world. I'm telling you, folks, it's the best job.
Cheers
Cheers
to
to
that.
Can I cheers even though I'm
can
not a
cheers.
DJ?
Of course, but you work in the industry,
I work
so-
in the industry. Yeah, the whole industry overall is just such a fun time.
It is. It's a
Totally.
great industry. It's so much fun.
It's a
Well, guys,
blessing.
speaking of fun, I've got a fun game for us to play. We can actually pull it up. You guys are going to love it.
I hate
trust me.
The
surprises.
game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's called Drinks with DJs.
Oh my gosh, how
Check that out.
fun.
So, we're going to start off by asking you, Arturo, a
Okay.
series of questions. There's no wrong answer. You're going to guess the best
Like
answer. There's 3 possible answers for each question. If you pick Drew's answer, that's me. I have to drink. If you pick Coral's answer, she has to drink.
Oh gosh.
If you pick an answer neither Coral or I picked, you got to drink, buddy.
Woohoo,
All
the red
right.
cup. Okay.
You got it.
You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
I'm nervous. I want to win.
Don't be nervous. All right, here we go. First one.
Okay.
Which of the following songs is the absolute worst choice to play at a wedding? The Chicken Dance, WAP, Gold Digger. Arturo, what's your answer?
Chicken dance?
The Chicken Dance. Let's see what Coral picked. Oh,
Oh,
she picked the Chicken Dance.
Yes.
I picked WAP. So Coral,
You don't like what?
I like WAP. I'm just
Oh.
not playing it at a wedding. I'm not trying to get fired. Probably the very last
clean
damn song.
version.
Yeah. So since he guessed mine,
Then you're
I'm
drinking.
no,
Yeah, you're
I thought
drinking.
it was safe.
No, you're
No,
the
you're
one drinking.
drinking.
I feel like you're gonna.
There's nobody safe here.
Oh.
All right, let's go on to the next
Cheers.
one.
Do not guess all of mine.
Okay.
Or do. You play a request that bombs, as we mentioned earlier. Everyone clears the dance floor. What song do you play next to get them back on? Rock Your Body by JT, Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars, Hey Ya by Outkast.
Uptown Funk by my man Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars. All right, let's see what we got here. So I picked Rock Your Body. And of course, Coral picked Uptown Funk. Coral's going to be drinking all
I
game.
know.
I knew it
up,
right when you
Coral.
said it. I'm like, whew. It's okay. We just have good taste.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you do. No harm in that. All right, next one. Which of the following songs would you close out the night with? Sweet Caroline, Don't Stop Believing, Don't Stop Me Now.
Ooh, if I don't say this, I might get in trouble. Don't stop believing.
Let's see what we got here. It's a great one, by the way. So I picked Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. And of course,
Oh!
Don't Stop Believing.
She's gonna hate me.
Finish yourself, Coral. Oh, she's loving it, man.
I'm gonna need a refill. Oh.
All right, next one. Best
Ooh.
song for the bouquet toss. Single ladies, girls just want to have fun, or milkshake.
That's a good one, by the way.
Mhm.
Single ladies for sure.
Single ladies. Well, let's see what we got here. Coral picked girls just want to have fun, so she's safe. And I picked single ladies.
Ooh, nice.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Milkshake is actually a really good one. That's fun.
Right?
Have you seen that before?
I haven't, but it's a great one. I keep it in my
Right?
back pocket. I think it's a
Yeah.
great choice. More people should pick that one.
I know.
It's a good upbeat.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally. And then after people can kind of join on and start dancing,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
All right, next one. Most overplayed at a wedding. Marry You, I Got a Feeling, or Ed Sheeran. He's just his own category.
I mean, Ed Sheeran for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna like. I was going back to back with I Got a Feeling,
So
but
you're
it's
going with
gonna
Ed
be
Sheeran?
Yes.
All right, let's see what we got here. Coral picked Marry You. I picked I Got a Feeling, so you're drinking.
Okay, it's either Ed Sheeran or Bruno Mars. Like, totally. Like,
Yeah.
these are the most
Yeah.
requested, overplayed songs.
But if we have to go between them two, I'd rather cancel out Ed
Ed
Sheeran.
Sheeran. Yeah,
Goodbye.
Cheers, you
Alright,
guys.
drinking.
Cheers.
All right, next one. All right, someone comes up and asks you to play any line dance of your choice. Which song are you picking?
None.
As you can tell, Coral's not a big fan of line dances. The Cha-Cha Slide, Cupid Shuffle, or YMCA? What are you picking, Arturo?
Cupid Shuffle.
The Cupid Shuffle? All right, let's see what we got here. I picked the Cha-Cha Slide. Coral picked YMCA, so you're drinking. Not a bad one, though. This is probably the most popular line dance out there. I mean, can't hate on the Cupid Shuffle, man.
Nope.
All right, next
That's
one.
good.
It's a good one. All right. Security comes up and tells you to shut it down right now, but everyone is chanting for an encore. You give the people what they want. Which song are you dropping? Turn down for what? Shut up and dance? One more time.
Turn down for what?
Let's see, my friend. Let's see what Coral picked. Turn down for what?
Yep. Drink up.
I picked one more time.
Both are great options, but turn down for what?
Is just
Yeah,
a thing.
sure.
That's a good
Yeah.
closer.
I was gonna say one more time, but no. Let's just do turn down for what.
Yep.
I'll probably do that one too. Turn down for what's an excellent choice. All right, last question. In your opinion, which is the greatest music decade? 80s, 90s, or the early 2000s?
Early 2000s.
All right, let's see what we picked here. Coral picked the 90s, and I have to agree with Coral. The 90s was the best decade, so you're drinking, my friend.
It's like late 90s. It's like 97, 98, 99 for me.
the 90s to the early 2000s was some great music. I love the 80s too, but man, nothing tops the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, some great music there.
That was a fun game. I
That
liked
was our
that.
game, man. You like that?
I love that. Yeah.
So we each got a round, each got a drink.
I know. Normally, I like to create the games here, but he's like, I got this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
Okay.
hate
I ha-
surprises, but that
I
was
love
really
that.
I had to do
fun.
this
I love
one.
I
that.
know.
I love
Even though
that.
I had to drink the most, but it's okay. It's fine.
Well, Arturo, for any of our guests out there that want to hire you as a DJ, MC for one of their events, how can they reach you?
My Instagram.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram, buddy? There it is, right
Oh,
up there.
perfect. Awesome.
And you work with Vox, correct?
I do. I do.
Okay.
Right on. So reach out to Arturo. He's gonna rock your wedding, make the party happen. And thank you for being here with us. It's
Thank
been
you
a
for
pleasure
having me.
having you, man.
Yes.
Our pleasure, man. Until next time, guys.
I don't even know if I have any left over after the game.
We'll get you topped off.
Cheers.
Woohoo! Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Till next time.